presenting Love Uber Eats, a platform to donate essential items to those in need.
Welcome to Danu on Fire, right here on High TV, your luxury channel. We are checking out King of the Mambo. If you have not been here, you are missing out on great food and a super sunset. It's all at Golf Face Hotel. Thank you for hosting us today. And with me on the show, I have someone who I've been trying to get for a long time, that he had like too many things like health factor, risk factor, all of these factors. One of the most persevering people who really works hard, and he has really achieved from what he was to where he is right now. I'm very happy to have Lewie Diasz.
Thank you. Thank you for being kind.
Oh no, I am. I'm actually very proud of you. I've heard stories about how much you had a goal in life and you worked towards it. But you were never the smartest kid in school, I was told.
You know too much about.
I know. I have of course done gossip about you with all your family members and all.
Well, yeah, it's been a tough terrain, but I think there's opportunity for anyone that perseveres, especially in Sri Lanka.
True.
Despite everything that's going on, I think it's a land of opportunity, and there's always room to thrive in chaos. I mean, you're a case study yourself, so.
I'm a case for sure. I don't know about study. But I wanted to ask you, why did you shift your attention to education? Like that's what really carved who you are.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Actually, no one's asked me that question before. You're the first to ask me that
because
question.
I'm the best at this job.
Of course. and you know, it's amazing that you do ask me this question, because I was sort of pondering about this a few days ago. Out of all the industries, it's actually ironic that in school, in college, I'm a Josephian, by the way. I used to hate all my teachers because my brother used to be studious, and I used to be the one who does not study.
Yeah.
And you know, at some point, one teacher told me that I don't deserve to be even a hair on my brother's head, and I really
Does he have hair now?
I didn't really enjoy my schooling, but you know, something happened along the way. Just out of school, I would like to say I found my first love, which is marketing. So I started studying sales and marketing, and that really gave me a turnaround in life. And sometimes in life, when you just find that one thing that you really like and love, and you commit your entire life towards it, and that's really the turnaround. So that's my story.
You're right now reading for your PhD, or you're done with it?
I finished it, yes.
He's Dr. Lewie. That's cool. That's really cool. So, okay, so that was your start. Life was not easy, definitely. Of course, all of you got recognized for a lot of things in your own paths. But looking at where you are today, are you happy that you had all those obstacles and challenges in your life?
Of course, I mean, obviously, if not for some of the challenges, you and I wouldn't be doing what we're doing today. It's those obstacles that make you strong in life. And I fear for my children because they have everything from the day they were born. They won't go through what we went through in life. And that sort of molds and brings the best out of you in life. And sometimes, even right now, when you look at, everyone wanted to leave this paradise, there's so much of opportunity here. Of course, also it is situational, it depends on your current situation. But if you can persevere and persist and do something with love and passion and find that sparkle in your life, I am sure, and if you're honest in what you do, that's very critical. Integrity and honesty in what you do is very critical. I think there's always room to do well. It's not about money. I always say that I don't run behind money, and it's never about the money. It's about finding what you love. Education, I am in it. I'm an ex-banker. I retired from banking. I'd like to say that I retired from banking at 37. I had a good job. I had about 400 people working with me. But my boss gave me an ultimatum and said, you either decide whether you want to teach or you want to be a CEO of a bank. And I made the choice.
Was it scary because here you pay your own salary?
Well, initially, yes. I remember the first day I left my job. When I went home, I went to the florist and I had to buy a dozen, of my wife's favorite flowers. And I took it home. When I told her I gave my resignation, and I first gave her the flowers and I then told her that I gave my resignation because
big 4 wicket.
because it's always a challenge to take that call. But if you ask me to choose any day over entrepreneurship, over being your own boss, but the corporate sector is important. What you learn there is very critical. But my question is, do you want a bonus once a year or do you want a bonus once in 3 months in your life? That's what entrepreneurship can offer you, right? Sometimes we all fight to become, there's a corporate battle to become the CEO. Everyone strives, works really hard to get promoted and become the CEO. But what you don't realize is
You can be your own CEO.
after you get there, Danu, there's so much of pressure that you don't want to be there, right? So then, obviously, if you can find what you really love in life, and it's very different to all of us.
All right, we need to come back and speak more about his life and also his family. Those ones who do marketing, they have a very set routine that they follow every day. Like they work out, they have their hair combed, and their pants are always ironed with a crease in the middle. We need to talk about that because that's how I have seen it. Just to let you know, in terms of food, we're having some amazing food. I've got a seafood Caesar salad, and you have something in beef. I forgot. Beef tacos. Amazing. Because we do this show very naturally, we sort of incorporate all the errors. We're getting into a break. We'll see you after. Do stick around. It's Danu on Fire.
Presenting Love, Uber Eats, a platform to donate essential items to those in need.
Welcome back to the show. We are in conversation with Lewie Diasz and we're checking out King of the Mambo. We have amazing food. This is like some seafood heaven that's put in front of me. I'm going to attack it later. He has got fish. Now, just wanted to speak about, you had some challenging times in life. I wanted to get myself in there. Okay. In terms of the topic. Yeah, right?
Well,
I'm speaking about your heart problem.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I've had a couple of challenges, but I've managed to overcome them now.
But you're someone who stays fit.
Sure.
And what did this situation teach you?
Sure. Yeah, so I think, you know, the moment you sort of pass a certain age, obviously you start having your family ailments that keep coming about. But the good thing is you need to always have your routine checkups. So I had a couple of challenges because I used to work all 7 days at some point in my life. I remember from my 26, when I was 26 to about 33, I used to work at a stretch all 7 days. And sometimes until very late in the night. And that sort of took a toll on me after some point. You need to be careful as well.
But you don't realize it when you're actually working.
This is actually the reality. And when you are, you know, gymming and when you're running and when you're fit, when you don't have any symptoms, you don't really bother about things. But you need to listen to your body. And that's something that I've started really doing in life. Marriage sort of is a time when you have kids, it sort of forces you to do that.
Yeah. Because you have kids looking at you, they depend on you.
Absolutely. So, but you know, everyone has their fair set of challenges in life. I've had mine. I'm glad I've managed to overcome them.
Yeah. Now, you know, there was this craze at one time for everyone to do their marketing, you know, to get your masters. It was such a big thing. Like a few years ago, I don't know whether you know, everyone was doing masters and it was not even a thing to have your masters. Now it's just so boring. But anyway, so there was this wing, and at that time you can see the ones who actually follow this, they'll always have their clean white tie shirts, they'll have their cufflinks ready, and you know, you had that particular look. Don't you agree this? Am I the only one who saw it like that?
No, you're right.
Yeah, because I was the only one who was a misfit in my class.
You're right. No, I think misfits rule the world. I must tell you that.
I used to go in shorts and they were short.
No, you have to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, the people, you know, the ones that are crazy are the ones that actually do things and get things done and do new things. And look at you. You know, I see you doing really well in life as well. And you've done something new, which is a huge vacuum in Sri Lanka. So I think that craziness is very important in life.
True, thank you. Because I feel like the ones who really take themselves super serious during the masters, they also teach you something, that they can't do presentations. They need a script to follow. But it is kind of cool. But tell me, for somebody who is watching this show, how important do you think it is to like go out there in your second part of your life, that is after school, and learn something that's going to get you ready for the real world out there?
I think it's very critical, Danu, because you know, especially in today's context, education post school, there are so many options. You can be a technocrat. You can do what we call STEM. Which is something that none of us did.
What is STEM?
STEM is science, technology, mathematics, and you know.
No, I can't do it. That's a better way of saying it.
Engineering and so on and so forth, right? So you and I never embraced those subjects, and we don't all need to be doing, you know, some of these core things, and be the batch top and the head prefect.
Yeah.
You know, I tell my son, just enjoy what you're doing. And find that passion, and to me, I think it's critical that youngsters today explore new avenues and new opportunities. There's so much to do. It's not the traditional. It's not what your parents did. It's not what your neighbors are doing or your brothers or sisters are doing. There's so much on design. There's so much on technology and AI and so much in the digital sphere that's happening around. Marketing today is evolved into business and digital. So today the whole Instagram revolution. People are making money. The youngsters don't want to work today.
That is true.
They don't want to. They don't want a
Clock in at a particular time,
9 to 5 job, right? They have 20,000 Instagram followers. They start making money, and so the whole paradigm has changed today.
True. But I wanted to ask, there are end of the day, talking about education, you are into the second tier of their education, third and fourth. But when it comes to the second tier, like we have a lot of people who enter the governance sectors, the universities. The syllabuses are brilliant, they're top notch. But unfortunately, we are not making the kind of leaders who we actually want in this country. They are becoming cavemen there. Can the private sectors or private sector educational leaders sort of invade and sort of change the thinking pattern?
Absolutely.
Have you tried?
No, I've not. I've been invited to a few times. It's really tricky because in Sri Lanka, you said we have good curriculum. I think our curriculum is fairly archaic.
That's true.
I mean, that's my view.
Yeah, true. I agree.
And I think our schools, we need to revive a lot that is going on there. And we are like frogs in a well, if you ask me. Most of us are not exposed to what's happening out there. I think in terms of opportunity, there's no place like Sri Lanka. And if you ask me, I will never leave this country, despite there's so much of demand for people to study and go abroad. If you can't make it in Sri Lanka, you're not going to make it anywhere in the world. I can tell you that. So you need to learn how to thrive in chaos, and you don't need to be overqualified. You need to have one or two good skills that you really employ. Learn how to market yourself primarily, and that's where we struggle. We struggle how to market ourselves as well as a country. We're struggling. We're really struggling there.
Amazing. Now, there's a question that I'm so itching to ask when we do come back after the break. I really want to know, have your students ever hit on you, and how do you solve that? Welcome back. Our final segment. I asked a very crucial question. We have seen all these movies. We have seen Ross educating people on Friends. have like girls written to you saying, "Sir, I have doubts that no syllabus can teach."
I actually like Ross. I like the character.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's. I'm blushing at the moment. You're making me blush.
Is it a yes or a no question?
Well, yes. And I don't know. It's a sin. I'm a healthy adult.
And you teach healthy adults.
But I need to tell you this before I forget, okay? I've been married for 9 years now. So it has not happened within that 9 years.
Yeah, true.
So that I won't get into trouble.
Prior to that, of course.
My wife's going to call you otherwise.
Prior to that, of course, have you encouraged an encounter? You have taught for so many years.
Define encounter?
Means a text message that has come saying, "Sir, I have a doubt, can I see you?"
Of course. Why are you underestimating?
I'm not underestimating. I just wanted to know. There should be some perk, no, being in a classroom.
Well, I've had a lot of that, if you ask me. But also, not really. Sometimes you need to read your messages a little carefully also. because of the profession you're in, because you really can't make a mockery out of it.
That is true.
You know, whilst we take our job seriously, something that I usually do is have fun. So we're very close to our students.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, that's a fine line, because when you're really close in the class and you have a lot of fun, we climb Adams Peak together with our students, we run at Independence Square, we do a lot of kind of clubs and things like that. But sometimes there's a fine line. You know, I see most of my students because I used to teach all 7 days.
Yeah.
So I ended up dating a lot of
The students
from not that it's easier, but
Monday to Sunday.
it's what you see, it's who you see, and
Hold
you
on.
know.
You dated a lot of your students at the same time?
Not at the same time.
right.
That's complicated.
Yeah,
You can
I
never
thought
do
you had
that
a
actually.
calendar.
Well, it's like this. I've, to be honest with you, 99% of my time, and it's what you see, right? It's
Yeah.
where you spend most of your time is. So 99% of my time was in the classroom. So I ended up having a lot of relationships, if you like, if that's what they call it
Yeah.
now. You know, from the classes that I used to teach.
But you married somebody who's not from a class.
This is I was something that I was leading to. I always thought I would settle down with someone who have been in a class, but I ended up finding my wife in a funeral. That's a long story by itself.
I'm going to go for every funeral out there.
Barney Ravens is actually the place to hunt
there
for
you go.
chicks, because that's where hall number 2. That's where
I must say,
I followed her to the grave actually.
Oh, wow.
It was a mutual friend's bereavement of her dad, so that's why I saw her.
Well, our president seems to be flying from England now to Japan. He's going for all the funerals too. So it's just, I think he's also on a mission.
Taboo topic. taboo.
But you know, I'm telling you, that's a great story. I just wanted to know. I need to get into education, but then mine will be abuse.
Education and abuse.
No, I'm just saying, if I try to do something.
Not really. Why don't underestimate
never know.
yourself.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true,
I think you'll do really well with your personality and with your talent.
Please, for those who are here,
a lot of
please
students will
take
be
note.
blessed to listen and to have someone like you impart your knowledge, and I think you should do it. I don't know what's stopping you.
An institution that trusts me. But anyway, I just wanted to ask you now, as someone who has, so when it comes to education, we always see this one stream to it. But you also believe in creating people who can be beyond just, you know, beyond the books. When you have people who are timid, soft-spoken, and the ones who are like just book smart, and they're like, please just don't talk to me, don't ask me for presentations, how do you sort of handle them?
Well, I guess it's your personality. It's when you sometimes you know, have all the qualifications behind your name. Sometimes your personality changes, and it happens naturally. But if you have a personality that is strong, that you're fun-loving, and you like to, you know, do things out of the box, sometimes you have to sometimes forget about all the qualifications and everything, and just be who you are. And that's what life is all about. Be simple and agile, and you know, it's important. The knowledge is important. You use that where you have to.
That is true.
But-
Not throw it at people's faces every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And be yourself. You know, in doing so, I've seen a lot of people sometimes not only qualified. I've also seen some people after they become CEOs of companies, the way they look, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they dine, everything changes.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's okay to a certain extent, but then you don't need to lose your identity and be who you are fundamentally, and especially Sri Lanka. That's very important. Wherever you are in the world, don't forget if there is some food that you need to eat with your hands, just
go
go
for
ahead
it.
and eat it with your hands. You know,
I know.
No
It has
mat-
not killed us all these years.
No matter. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who's looking at you.
Correct.
Just do it.
Exactly. Before we wrap things up, I have to say these are the biggest churros I've ever seen. They're humongous. Look at this. This is like a prop. But I love churros, so I'm not going to say no. But before we wrap things up, Lewie, I think I have invited you before as well, but due to a lot of complications, we couldn't do it. But I'm so happy that you came on this show. But I have to say, the common friends who you have and who have spoken about you, and also your sister, they've always told me the greatest things, but how determined you are you are so focused in making something, and you made it, and it's remarkable. And I love people who have a story that they can share that inspires everyone. And thank you for being who you are, and thank you for doing all what you've done, because it opens doors and makes people believe that they can also do it.
Thanks, Danu. Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Thank you for being on the show. Absolutely a lot of fun. We will see you with another cool episode to Danu on Fire. Till then, you keep well, keep smiling. It's a wrap.
Presenting Love, Uber Eats, a platform to donate essential items to those in need.